This is Mont Blanc, French for White Mountain, but not to be confused with the White Mountain in New Hampshire or these other white mountains in Middle Earth. This white mountain is found on the border of France and Italy and standing at 4,808 meters or 15,774 feet. It is the highest mountain in the Alps. This is my attempt to climb it solo. The red line on the mountain is my exact path from bottom to top from my GPS watch. There are two mountain huts I stayed in, Tete Rousse, lower on the mountain, and Gouter hut further up. There's this section in between them called the Grand Couloir? Couloir. I don't even know how to say this word. It looks French, so it probably has some stupid pronunciation.
Couloir. Couloir.
I knew it. Anyways, if you can make it up past the grand C word, you'll reach another hut called the Valo hut. But it's not for overnight stays and is intended to be used as an emergency shelter only. 450 meters, 1,500 feet above that, and you've reached the summit. It is a beautiful day today here in the French Alps. I'm at about 6,700 feet right now. I took the cable car to Bellevue and then the tram up to the last stop to Nid d'Aigle. And this is where I officially start my climb to Mont Blanc. So I'm going to go up to Tete Rousse hut tonight, stay there, and then attempt to summit tomorrow. The weather for today and tomorrow is just perfect. Couldn't ask for anything better. So here we go. Oh, having to navigate this boulder field. I don't know if you can see it, but the Gouter hut is like right there, hanging off of the ridge right there, sticking up. So that's where I'll be spending tomorrow night, hopefully. What a nice view. Beautiful. There she is. First view of the hut. It just got covered by fog. I don't know how well you'll be able to hear me with the wind blowing, but I decided to keep hiking up a little bit past the hut where I'm staying at tonight. One, to help to acclimatize, and then two, I wanted to check out this section of the trail called the Grand Couloir.
Couloir.
Probably the most dangerous part of the whole hike. And show you what it looks like. So it's basically this valley that kind of goes from here and goes up over there. And you might be able to see some people just roping up, getting ready to cross it. But the reason it's so dangerous is because basically you are walking through this gully that just has all of this big loose rock that could fall off at any moment, and the rocks are anywhere from baseball size to car size, and they're flying off the mountain too. So if you get hit by one of those, even if it's a smaller one, you're gonna have a bad day. And this one section right here, it's only like 150 meters long, but this one section is where tons of accidents happen, and even fatalities. So my plan of attack is to get here first thing in the morning. Like I want to be ready to cross it as soon as it's light enough out to be able to see. And then I'm just gonna move as fast as I can across, and hopefully things will be calm in the morning and won't have to worry about flying rocks, but we'll see.
The next day.
So I'm here at the Grand Couloir.
Couloir.
I got here way too early. There's not nearly enough light out. But it's been pretty quiet. I've heard some really small pebbles falling. But yeah, I'm here, so the plan is to just scoot across that, even though you can't see it because it's pitch black. Scoot across that as fast as I can. I just made it across safely. That's good. Now it's just a real steep climb up these rocks, which you still can't see. And then I'll be at the Gouter hut. About an hour and 20 minutes in, and the sun is just now starting to show on the tips of the peaks of the mountains back there. It's really beautiful. This climb has just been like crazy, just really steep scrambles with some fixed ropes, but I'm almost to Gouter hut, so it's right there, so hopefully I can get there in less than 30 minutes or so, and then it'll just be all snow and maybe some glacier walking. Should be much easier. Let's go. Oh, somebody die. I have come to this nonsense. It's just giant rocks. And it's super steep. And there's these fixed ropes, but it's like going to be kind of tricky to get up, I think. Those ropes are cold on my hands.
Bonjour, merci.
Bonjour.
Bon courage. Nous, c'est fait.
Merci. Ooh. sun. First look, the route up to the top up there. If I can make it there in under 3 hours, but this view is insane. Update, I've just gotten to 14,000 feet. The wind, on here, picked up significantly, but yeah, 14,000 and climbing up. I think you can see just now the summit of Mont Blanc. Oh my goodness. The summit. Woo! Getting closer. So we made it to the emergency shelter here. It's below the summit. All that's left is really follow this line up, and the summit's right up there. So I'm getting close, but the wind has definitely picked up. I've had to put my windbreaker on. It's getting pretty chilly, so I'm hoping the wind dies down a little bit, especially by the time I get up there. But so far everything is going pretty good. There's a bunch of groups coming down right now, and a couple of groups behind me coming up. So yeah, let's do it. Strong to continue. Looking up at this group of guys, one of them is a guide, and I keep thinking he's going to turn around and call it quits, but they're pressing forward, so I'm thinking, well, if he's a guide, he probably knows what he's doing. Maybe the wind is normal, but yeah, it's pretty intense. It's really cold, especially with the wind blowing. It's why I can barely move my mouth. The conditions are really not so great right now. So I'm back at the hut. I did not make it to the top, unfortunately. I made it to about 14,500 feet, so less than 700 feet from the top, and the wind just got out of control, and it was just too dangerous, especially for me, not being able to be roped up with someone else. And so I made the decision to turn around and which was hard because I'd been climbing for 5.5 hours, and to be probably less than an hour away from the summit was not easy, but it was the right decision. So I have 2 more days to try and get to the top, but it's not looking very good with the wind. The wind is supposed to be even worse tomorrow, and just okay the day after, but conditions are always changing, so we'll see. Hopefully maybe the wind will die down and I'll get a chance to get on top.
24 hours later.
Wow, what a day today was. I'm back here at the Gouter hut, or Gouter, as the French would say. Started the day at waking up at 2:15, breakfast at 2:30, and then was on the mountain at 3 a.m. Met this guy Nick at breakfast, and he was also climbing solo, and so we decided to tackle the mountain together. As soon as we left and got on the mountain, you could tell the wind was way stronger than it was yesterday, and I was just thinking, like, this is just not going to happen. And checking the forecast from last night, the winds were predicted to be 55 kilometers an hour in the morning, and slowly tapering off as the day went on. But we started up the mountain, and the wind was definitely strong. But then, just before we got to the Valo emergency shelter, it just picked up like crazy, and I mean, I was getting blasted by snow and ice. I mean, I was on all fours, on my knees and my hands, using my ice axe, just trying to get to the shelter, because it was just, the wind was insane. And all this is at night in pitch black. And so finally I got to the shelter and I walked in, and it is packed with everyone who had left before us. I counted over 40 people. They were all huddled together in the shelter. And so I waited in there, and slowly everyone who was in there started packing up and started heading back down to the hut here and calling it a day. So my plan was to just stay at the Valo shelter as long as it took, just to see if the wind died down. And I was gonna wait all day. Everyone else left and went down, and then there's just a few people left. Well, what if we just try it now? And we had been in the shelter for almost like 2 hours at this point. And this was at 8 in the morning, so I thought, all right, well, we can just try it. So we set off, and the wind had definitely died down, and we kept climbing, and it was okay. And we had seen a few groups above us turn around and come back down, so I was kind of worried that the wind would be too much, but when we got up there, we were able to manage it. made it to the top, and it was awesome. The top of Mont Blanc. Yeah! So good. So good. Woo! Yeah. On the summit right now. Congratulations. Perfect. I was admiring my name in the snow when I noticed my friend's glove go flying in front of me. Oh! Got it! Oh, hope I got that on video. Yeah, on the way back down, we saw some of the other guys that were in the shelter with us when we decided to go out. They were like, man, we're so glad we saw you guys attempt to go up to the top, because that made us like decide to give it a try also. And so since we decided to go, like there were several others that were able to summit because of that, which was really cool. Wow, dead quiet. We just went up all that. There she is.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Easy peasy. So yeah, so now we made it back down, and my body is pretty exhausted, but I'm just like really happy that it made it to the top because I didn't think it was going to happen, especially considering how the morning started. But yeah, going back down, should be in Chamonix early tomorrow morning.
The next day.
So, the morning after the summit, it's 6:20 in the morning, and I'm just now leaving the Gouter hut on the way back down to Tete Rousse. But the sun is just now coming up over the Alps, and it looks amazing. That is fantastic. And back at the tramway. One last look. Oh. So that's a wrap. Officially off the mountain. At lower altitude in the sun. It's warm. I can breathe. Feels good.